Welcome back to Waterpark Rangers, Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, we returned, basically, to Traverse Town because in Deep Jungle, we reached the end and then discovered a new gummy ship piece, which kind of just spontaneously appeared out of nowhere. And Goofy kind of assumed that Leon would know something about it, but Leon, as it turns out, seems to not really know how to work gummy ship pieces very well, and instead has sent us to find Sid, of all people. Basically, you have to pay pretty close attention to the text to pick up things like this. And Kingdom Hearts is one of those games where, like, don't get me wrong, I like so much about the game, but a lot of the dialogue, especially stuff that just zooms by without voice acting, like in text bubbles, those text bubbles just aren't very appealing to read, I don't know. And I forget the dialogue very easily. Perhaps it's, like, maybe because it's written kind of generically or something? I don't know, I just didn't pay very much attention to it, never have. Kind of like Twilight Princess and Zelda. I mean, I love the game, but I never really paid close attention to the dialogue, and I still don't know why. Anyway, let's just read this dialogue here. Well, if it ain't a gummy block. Yup. What's this one for? You're kidding me. You're flying a gummy ship and you don't know nothing about navigation gummies? Bunch of pitheads, interspace ain't no playground.
There's a lot we don't know. So what? We have to use the gummy ship to go to other worlds. We don't have a choice.
Whoa, easy. I don't know. No hard feelings, alright? Well, I guess I could lend y'all a hand then.
Thanks.
Basically, with navigation gummies, you can go to new places. You want one on your ship, right? I'll install it for you. But I got this thing I gotta go deliver first.
What do you need to deliver?
Just this book. It's real old. When the guy brought it in, it was practically falling apart. Too beat up to restore it to the way it was. But overall, I did a decent job putting it back together. Anyway, you mind delivering it for me? It's the old house past the 3rd district. Look for a big fire sign.
What was that?
The bell at the gizmo shop is ringing. Go check it out if you want, but deliver that book for me first. When you're done, stop by the house in the 3rd district. I'll be there.
Okay, so basically it seems like our new objectives have been spelled out for us by Sid. We gotta head over to the House of the Big Fire sign. But first we're gonna mail those postcards that we got last episode. Oh, Megalixir! Awesome! And what will this be? Oh, nice, Orichalcum. So some very good rewards, and I believe there's only 10 postcards, so that means that I think we only have 2 more to go. Surprisingly, you can get them all pretty quickly, if I remember correctly. If you know where they are. I admit I did use a guide to find out where all of them were, because originally I had been planning to get all of those, and they're not too tough to get all of them. And they have such good rewards, you might as well get them all. Oh yeah, and anyway, another thing about Sid is, like, one thing that really bothers me about him is that he knows so much about gummy ships and is like a gummy ship expert. I used to think in this game that Sid was like one of the coolest characters. Like when you first came to Traverse Town, or at least when I first came to Traverse Town when I was a kid, all I remember was Sid's piece of dialogue where he's like, I'll look out for you even though it doesn't mean anything. For some reason it always felt like you could go to his shop and if anyone tried to go in, like the Heartless tried to get you, he'd like kick their asses and not let them go inside. I used to think he was a pretty cool guy when I was a kid, but now he's a gummy ship expert, so that kind of takes his cool factor down by about 300%. But yeah, he wanted us to go to the House of the Big Fire sign, and we've already been in here before, so we're just gonna have to hop across the platforms as we usually do. And fail as we usually do. Yeah, in case you didn't know, maybe I never established it before, but these are the most evil platforms in the game, or at least among them, in my opinion. They're despicable. They never get easier. Well, eventually they do, but not for a long time, and by then you'll probably not have to come back here anymore by the time you find out how to get across those more easily. I try to keep things that happen late game kind of a secret so that they become more interesting once we finally run across them. Is this thing important yet? I don't know if we can activate the Fairy Godmother's thing yet. No, I guess we can't. She's just going on about the same bit of dialogue, so I guess we have to bring the book to Merlin, like Sid said. Once again, it's easy to overlook that kind of stuff. Alright, Merlin.
Oh, that book! So Sid asked you to bring this.
Thank you. You wish to know what kind of book it is? I don't even know myself. In fact, it's not mine. Somehow it found its way into my bag one day. It was such a curious book, I asked Sid to repair it for me. Well, I guess I'll put it here somewhere, for now. This book holds a great secret. The missing pages will unlock it. I'll leave the book over there. Do look at it whenever you like. My best regards to Sid for repairing it for me. Oh, and about that stone of yours. You should ask the fairy godmother about that. Do you know what this is? Oh, the poor thing. He is turned into a summon gem. A summon gem? This little creature lived in a world that was consumed by darkness. When a world vanishes, so do its inhabitants. But this one had such a strong heart, he became a gem instead of vanishing with his world. Can he regain himself? Yes, but only his spirit. Now watch. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo!
Alright, so... yeah, I'll explain summons later. Basically, we learned summons, and yeah, they're not used very often, or at least I don't use them very often.
If you find any more of these, bring them to me. Don't worry, when the worlds are restored, they will return here. Sora, please help save them.
Okay, summons. What can I say? If you've played Final Fantasy, you know what a summon is. It's basically you can call a character to your aid, from elsewhere, and they'll help you out for a few seconds. Well, depending on how many, like, summon upgrades you get, you can actually have the summons help you for longer amounts of time. Different summons stay for certain amounts of time. Each one has a meter that shows how often they'll be there to help you out in battle. They all have different effects, and they're easy to forget, and you can easily go through the game without using a summon once. They're just kind of strange, really. I mean, they're interesting. Like, they have different characters. You saw we can already summon Simba. In order to learn more summons, we're going to have to find more specialized items that specifically relate to summons. Now, I might talk more about summons later, but for now, I should probably focus on the matter at hand, which is the fact that we are inside a book. It's kind of weird that Sid is apparently also a book repairman. Like, does that mean, like, books equal gummy ships? Kind of flawed logic. It's kind of like whenever they relegate, like, all related tasks to, like, one character in any game, like, especially in the generic, like, wise man who helps you out in the beginning of any RPG. Might be like a professor or a wizard, but he immediately knows everything. It's not like he's specialized to teach in one category. And yes, that's right, Winnie the Pooh is in this game. Winnie the Pooh and his friends. There's kind of a controversy over this level, and the fact that basically, well, I see it as a controversy. The fact that it sucks and I don't want to play it. Like, don't get me wrong, when I was a kid, a really little kid, I grew up with this original show and the original books written by A.A. Milne. And they are recreated, I guess, fairly faithfully in this game. The problem is, unlike all the other levels, they're designed around minigames, and the minigames are, for the lack of a better word, okay, and I can't be too profane, they're just awful. They're really horrible. A waste of programming and a waste of time. But the problem is, although this is not 100% run, I did say I'd get all the keyholes. And if memory serves correctly, there is a keyhole in this world. And so unless you clear all of the minigames in Winnie the Pooh's 100 Acre Woods, you technically haven't sealed all the keyholes. And I actually kind of like this dialogue. I mean, I get... Sometimes I wonder if it's more right to talk over it, but then I figured, you know, they have collections of these cutscenes on YouTube anyway, so I might as well just input my own 2 cents instead of you just seeing it over again. Especially if you played the game before, watching these long cutscenes can be a bit of a bore. This scene is almost a little bit existentialist. Oh, there was the greatest quote ever today. It was by, okay, I was listening to the show Wait Wait Don't Tell Me, awesome radio show, program, you never heard of it, then it's worth giving a listen to. And anyway, basically, they had someone on the show they were interviewing who was actually in the recent Alvin and Chipmunks movie, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Shipwrecked, that's right. And he actually said a really funny joke about it, kind of defaming the movie that he was in, so it was really cool to hear someone from the actual cast talk about how bad it was. I forget what he said exactly, he was like, yeah, I feel like He said it so sarcastically. He's like, if you like existentialist philosophy, you're gonna love Chipwrecked. That was so badass. Yeah, see, there's a key on the front of that book. I'm pretty sure that's the keyhole. Or something to that extent. That might be the keyhole of that book. Anyway, Winnie the Pooh, unlike the other worlds, is done in fragments, so unless you get pages and then bring them back to the book, you're not going to be able to continue with the world. So you're not going to finish Winnie the Pooh's world for quite some time. That being said, it's not going to be important at all because it's not a part of the story. It's just optional. We'll return here for filler episodes later, alright? See you next time.